Finally, I see. Yeah.
Takes time.
It's so hard to not say good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oops. Oops. I hope everyone can hear us. Let us know immediately if there's no sound. Please,
But we
quickly.
can't see their thing though.
Well, no, if they text, everybody
okay.
text us.
Okay, text.
Those of us to whom we've given our personal information out. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's the dog days of August, right, Ananobi? It's the heat. The heat is on in August in Vermont.
It was when I was walking from. Well, I came and nobody was home, and I wanted to go for a walk, so I found Ananobi to see if he wanted to come with me. And when I was leaving, the all this wind picked up. Like there were all these clouds, and it was starting. I thought it was going to pour down rain. And it was like the wind was doing its thing, where it was like making the tornadoes and like all the dirt and dust in all the corners. And I was walking across the parking lot, and these ladies were like shielding themselves, and it was so amazing and cinematic, as life is, as actually life is. And yeah, it was really awesome. And the temperature drop felt like it was 40 degrees. It was so extreme in that moment. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that was like when my friend and I went to see the Odyssey last night, and we went swimming first, and it was like the clouds moved in, and we kind of had to get out of Shady Rail, and then we got to the theater, and it was all like it was the preparation for the mighty oceans of the Odyssey.
Where did you see it?
The Capitol.
Oh, okay.
Right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It was cute. They like left the light on for like the first 5 minutes, and then this woman got up and like said, "Can you turn the light off, please?" And turned the light off. It's such a cute little movie theater, like run by teenagers.
Yeah.
On their phone.
I
just picture they push a button to like get the film started, and then they're on their phone, and someone's like, "Excuse me, like, can you turn the light off, please?
Yeah.
Thank you."
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've been that person. Speaking of, if you've been staying tuned, no, but if it's like it's connected to definitely that part that I've been bringing out into the light and exercising. The neurotic. That's a good discernment, because like it could go either way. Like there was a time in my life where that would have been very positive.
Oh, I see that. Okay, yeah, because my mom would do things like that all the time. It's sort of the fine line.
Yeah, it's like
between dark mother and self-advocacy.
Well, right, because earlier in my life, I completely gave up any, or whatever you want to say. I had no self-advocacy. I was so terrified. So I would just sit and kind of be miserable and be like, why isn't anyone doing it?
Right.
Like, why surely there's a parent here who's going to take charge.
Right.
And there wouldn't be, and then I would just, and then I could just be miserable.
I love that. Surely there's a parent here who is going to take charge is such the setup for so much suffering.
Yeah.
It's like when I told Wake once he was doing this group project, and I was like, he was like, I'm sure the other folks have done their part. And
I remember that.
And I said, I'm going to give you a piece of advice for the rest of your life. Never assume that the other person is doing their part. Just don't,
Or at least ask
well,
them.
don't assume, right? Exactly. That's where you want to be curious. Because even like the energy is...
And communicative.
Yeah, the energy of secure attachment from a place of like, hey guys, can we turn the light off? Versus like, no one's gonna, I have to.
Yeah, right.
Like, again, it's not about the action. It's about what is felt within the action.
Right, and this is what the larger thing of trauma. But just to complete this circle, then it became for me this thing of like my ego took over or whatever, and then it was like, well, I have to be or whatever. It was like, I will be the one.
That's
like,
my mom.
Yeah.
That's the dark, that is the dark mother. It is the dark mother energy. It's like, no one else is going to do it, so I have to do it.
And like,
but without understanding that maybe somebody else is actually going to, it's like, it becomes very black or white. It's like, no one will because everyone's an asshole. I remember like the philosophy that we're kind of going on tangents here, but like the philosophy I got out of life, I decided at one point was like, you know, everyone's cool until they're going to prove that they're an asshole.
Mm.
Like, that was literally how I felt about things. And that was such a dark mother thing. Like, if someone's going to do something wrong at some point, and of course, then everything gets thrown out rather than, oh, this person did this thing and it made me feel this, which is really the real thing.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah, and it's like that's just one great step. Yeah, that is incredible. I love that. Like that's a life-changing thing, even if you can get that far. You know.
Thank God for the mid-50s. All this time.
Oh, the mid. I thought you
being in my mid-50s. Yeah, not like the Fonzie era.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I saw Spider-Man for the second time yesterday, and
don't tell everybody.
I mean, for the first time.
Don't tell everybody that.
And what really stuck with me the second time, it's so great. I actually really like seeing movies. I've been getting a lot out of seeing movies in the theater, like 2 times, because I get, you know, completely different things, or like certain things will stand out and stuff. And I was so annoyed at, like, it kind of felt like a mess, you know, so much of a mess when you and I saw it. Like, I was just like, why is the hand even in here? And like, there was some way, I don't know.
It was like too much.
It was too much, so much so that I actually couldn't follow the story, because I didn't realize how much not knowing. Oh, I guess I don't know if that's a spoiler or not, but I didn't realize how much, like, anyway, I didn't realize how much that confusion affected my overall experience of the movie. But the second time, I wasn't confused
because you knew.
Yeah, I knew like what was going on, and I was like, oh, then I could more easily follow.
That's
and
why
just,
the hand is there.
Yeah. Well, not really. No, I still don't fucking know. The hand was so dumb. I hate it.
Really?
And like my
friends
it's just for
the it was for
like,
the red. No, it was. That's why the hand was there, for that, like, for the red fighting scene.
Wait, are you serious?
I believe so.
Oh.
I think from a cinematic perspective, that was like amazing.
Yeah.
That's like the best cinematic fight you could have.
Yeah.
In Spider-Man.
I mean, that scene was incredible.
Well, that's why I truly think that's the purpose of having a hand there.
Well, it was so fucking cool. Like, that was so cool.
Yeah.
I cried just as much, maybe more, the second time. I was out of my mind at certain points. Like, anyway, this is not my point of anytime the 3 of them were together, I was completely a wreck. I was just like leaning forward in my seat.
3?
And Ned,
Zendaya.
Yeah. Zendaya and Tom.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I was completely dying, like so much like that. And I had let go of wanting the movie to be more about the 3 of them, which I really wanted. You know, the movie to be more about, like, you know, just more with them, because that's what I love the most. I love that I'm so curious about that in myself, because it's such a theme for me, and this is something that Awake and I have talked about a lot, where because he and I have watched things, and there's like The Flash, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, especially those 2, Veronica Mars, where there's like little teams, Scooby-Doo, you know, there's like the gangs, and that's why in Buffy they say the Scooby Gang. They call themselves the Scooby
really?
Gang.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like, I love them so much, like that when there's a riff within the gangs, like it is like, I cannot handle it. Like, it feels. This is why I'm curious about it. I feel it so personally that it's nearly intolerable. Like, it's like really that level of like upset, you know, which is just like very suspicious, you know, in a way, because it doesn't really make sense. But
so this is about how trauma affects us every day.
Well, so
I'm joking. Like this, it is all like, because this is all trauma. Right,
but what really struck me was, you know, Jean Grey in this character in Spider-Man, and for me, in the Odyssey, that Circe scene was the most, and later when, it's just, to me, was astonishing when um, what's his name? Matt Damon. When Odysseus
Mm.
was with his wife, and he was as the beggar, as
Mm.
Osiris or whatever, as the beggar,
Mm.
and they were doing the flashbacks, and he was seeing with the eyes, to me, the eyes that were not eyes of trauma, like he was seeing with like more clear eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and he was seeing what he had done
About what happened.
yeah. And then they went back in, and it was just like so incredible, because and he kind of was all one way at the beginning, which was just like, we are doing the, this
Well,
is
he was under he was under Telemachus's Dark Father.
yeah.
He like believed the Dark Father.
Yeah.
As he worshipped the Dark Father.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh, shit.
Yeah, it was so amazing, because like the Circe scene I love so much, because it was so dramatic.
What's the
with the pigs, when she turns,
yes.
And
okay.
It's like, I was like, oh my god, this is like what happens. Think about like going to a family dinner, like, but seriously,
no, I am serious.
and
I'm
how there's so
too.
much subtext going on within every single person.
And the Dark Mother's turning everybody into pigs.
And they're like learning, and they're like all, because they've all lived a different life in the same scenario, like in the same, like my sister and I grew up in the same house, but we had completely different experiences.
Right.
We had the same parents. We had completely different experiences, and that would have been so. Anyway, were there more dramatic trauma things or not? Like we had, and we both. It's just like such an amazing thing to feel and know. Is that, and I'm really realizing that I can be having a conversation with someone, and what I think is happening is not what's happening for the other person.
Right.
Because of projection and reaction and trauma.
Yeah.
And like Jean Grey was really a very blatant, example of that. And why I love the Odyssey thing. I can't speak about it as articulately as some sort of, trauma like professor could do.
Well, I'm not sure if that's true,
but I have a feeling experience of it that's very strong, obviously, like a knowing or something, a resonance. But when Matt Damon came in, and he's like seeing, because he's not a pig, and he's like, oh, and he's like, I felt him like holding his own like anchor inside, as she was like trying to do the things,
right?
And he was like, oh, it wasn't that he was completely immune.
Yeah.
And that's what I love.
He was like, it was that line of being seduced.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was really awesome. And she believed, she was completely gone. She says it. I can't remember now exactly, because it's been a while since I saw it. But she's saying like, no, like her whole reality is different. Like they were gonna kill me.
Right.
And
it was projection of dark father onto the soldiers.
Yeah.
And then so every man is a pig. It's sort of like,
and every man is an absolute
and there's good reason to think they are, because they just fucking burned and raped and pillaged Troy. Right. So yes, here's the evidence.
Right.
I want to know more about who's Odysseus's father.
You gotta ask Wake.
Okay, because that's, the lineage thing is so interesting, like the lineage of trauma versus the lineage of archetype. The lineage of secure attachment.
And just the obvious thing I just have to say is when he's, I was like so, because when he was coming home and like the whole father-son thing, I was just gutted by that, like, but not gutted here, but gutted here. Like, I was just like, ugh. And when he's walking up, like, and they don't know, like, he doesn't know it's his dad. And then the thing happens with the dog, and then he's like, and it clicks. Oh my god, I just, that was so profound for me.
And it's interesting because they don't have a relationship. So his whole idea of dad, because he left before he had conscious memory.
Right, so he just has stories about
He has
him.
stories about his dad.
Yeah.
And so then it's like that discrepancy, because I didn't feel any love between them.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and so it does become a projection of father as Odysseus, which is, a pretty big projection of your dad's Odysseus.
Mm-hmm.
And I, yeah.
Right, and archetypally, it's like that whole father-son coming. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's kind of like the prodigal son kind of vibe, even though it was
right.
It's not exact, but it's like that thing of like coming back and being received. I don't just. It's like so moving to me because even though because they were apart from each other, but
right.
thinking, kind of thinking about the other, and even though Odysseus got lost,
Got to be so funny because it's like, well, like if Jesus actually returned, half, the people who are waiting for his return would reject it. Right?
Oh yeah,
it's like it's
and
such
not recognize him,
and not recognize him,
be
trying to like take his throne, even
Yeah.
though they like
Yeah.
prescribe to being, Christian.
Yeah.
Not to just diss that whole religion, but
Yeah.
it's just an interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's sort of how dark. I've been thinking a lot in this last few weeks just about, in some ways, just the dichotomy between Dark Father and Animus and Dark Mother and Anima, and that it's like that's the scope, and it's not ever either or, but that's like those are the everything's within the realm of that, like in terms of ow, you can't do downward dog and hurt me at the same time.
Yes, say just more about the dichotomy, and it's
well,
not...
so dark. I've been trying to kind of articulate this, and I may not be able to do it very clearly, but it's just really resonating for me that it's the difference between secure attachment and insecure attachment, and that animus and anima are the archetypes of the good father, which is animus is sympathetic nervous system and anima is parasympathetic nervous system, meaning that animus is about mobilization and movement and action, and anima is about nurturing and calm and being fed, right? And so there's movement, which is sympathetic, which is animus, and there is nurturance, which is anima, and that anima is about the energy of you're okay, like you have nothing to be ashamed of, like I'm going to feed you, I'm going to take care of you, I'm going to make sure your needs are met in not a dark way. And the animus energy is mobilization, like I'm going to continue to go out there and be out in the world in a way where I'm going to challenge you to do that.
It's
right?
more confrontation.
Right, and the dark father then becomes the dark side of mobilization, which is anger, raping, pillaging. And dark mother is the immobilization of control, right? So it's like she turned them into pigs. Like it's like I'm gonna immobilize you, right? I'm gonna control you by sucking out your libido, whereas the dark father is the libido gone awry. That it thinks the mobilization is about control. So it's like mobilization for control or immobilization for control. And the dark mother does that by all the downsides of the parasympathetic nervous system, which is depression, shame, losing sense of self, where the dark father is like the false growth of the ego, and so that everything is then within that.
Yeah.
Right. So then you have Penelope, who acting as best she can, right, as the anima under like desperate terms, right? She needs the animus's return because she's trying to hold the nurturance of it together, but she isn't able to, right? And that's part of why then without the animus there, the dark father energy just starts to take over and envelop.
Which is so amazing because in that movie, just like they live at the castle and are fucking taking. It's like,
Right.
It's like, and they just don't. Yeah, it's,
Right.
that's so. And another interesting and
her supporter helper gets seduced by the dark.
yes,
Like her
yes,
her
oh, yeah.
her gets seduced by the
Yeah,
dark father.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, though you said the thing about anima, and because of my negative, hey, no, please don't do that. My negative projection onto Anne Hathaway, when you said that, I was like, ew, like no. So for me,
she
I
was a
couldn't
tricky character.
feel that at
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
because but it's really me. Like and it makes me sad, and I even knew it in the moment. Like I was like, oh, like her severity and her like her like for me, it just doesn't. It's my particular, you know, thing, and she unfortunately, you know, gets the short end of the stick with me as an actress because I feel like it's all about her beauty and like all her whatever
Her charm.
and her unbelievable thin, like she's so skinny, and it really triggers me, you know.
And she's clever. She has all these sort of attributes that are not anima.
Yeah. So anyway, I experienced her in that movie as being I like this. I appreciated the scenes between her and Odysseus, the flashback, because I was like, oh, like she laughed once, you know what I mean, and like where I was like, okay, I believe that they loved each other. It wasn't quite long, you know. It was like just enough for me to.
I think she's really struggling to be the dark, to like her the character to me, because you can see how it comes down to Telemachus. Like she's struggling to stay anima. She's not doing all that great a job.
So many years.
Yeah, and so she's just like holding on.
Yeah.
You know, and so then that it's the
weird.
activation of trauma, and she is becoming a dark mother, right? I think that's part of why they have to leave Telemachus is like they've done the best, like they've been, you know, like John Bowlby, who talked about attachment theory, talks about being good enough parents. It's almost like Odysseus and Penelope are good enough parents. Like they weren't. They were separated, right? So they couldn't provide secure attachment for Telemachus.
Right.
But they're also not gonna like. They're like, you gotta go. Like we're leaving.
Yeah.
Right. Like so, you gotta kind of do the best you can, which doesn't bode well because Telemachus is not very securely attached.
Wait, Telemachus?
Yeah, their son. Isn't their son Telemachus?
Okay. I don't know. All of a sudden, I don't know. I got the.
Anyway, that's like a thing.
You all know who we're talking about.
Yeah. Spider-Man. The guy who played Spider-Man in Odysseus. That's.
Oh my god. Oh.
So the tales were great, and you know it's interesting because Spider-Man is also a fatherless boy, right? So it's like Tom Holland is sort of trying to do the best he can without good parents in both movies.
Right.
You know, he gets to see his father as this fantastic warrior, but he never really feels loving nurturance from his mother. Like him and his mother are at odds because he's having to take the role of the king when he's a little boy. You know, and she's just like, "Fuck you, dude." You know, you're telling me what to do.
Yeah, I know.
That's a total dark mother dynamic.
Yeah, I was like, dude, what? That's so confusing. Like, yes, because,
So we need the animus and the anima.
Yeah. The other thing I just wanted to say in terms of, like, you know, in general, like, that kind of a thing, is, with the anima and the animus as being such main, whatever, archetypes or what, it's like the dreams themselves, or there are there's similarities, but it also really depends on each person, you know, and their kind of what's, you know, everything that's going on, and that sort of like inner relationship thing, because and I also am curious about like daughter, father, like because I've had many dreams where the animus is just incredibly nurturing, and you know, it's not just one thing. It's not like always.
Well,
they're going to be.
They're both.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say that, to be clear, and I've had times where, I mean, the anima energy can be incredibly like, you know, you shall not pass. You
Absolutely.
know, just like very fierce.
Right.
There's can be a ferocity.
I'm definitely overgeneralizing.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm trying not to compartmentalize it, but it's the thing.
Yeah.
That struck me because both sympathetic and parasympathetic are both, when securely attached, so fundamentally wonderful, and when they are of trauma, they're so fundamentally terrifying. And where's the healing aspect of that in terms of secure attachment? You know, I like, this is part of it. If Odysseus is the animus and Penelope is the anima, they need each other. Right, they can't, because then Odysseus is just fighting off seduction, because the anima isn't there. Like, you know, he was brave enough to fucking know what he needed to do to fight off seduction, but he still got seduced by Charlize Theron, right? Like, you know, but who wouldn't? But so anyway, you know,
the siren. It was just like a blippy moment. Oh man, dude, that was intense. You know, like that was, I don't know, like 2 more minutes of that might have been.
I thought that could have been, like, I would have loved a lot more of that and a lot less of the fucking Cyclops. But
I thought the Cyclops
was,
amazing.
I felt like it just kind of went on a little.
Yeah.
That was the part I didn't understand. We can talk about that another. It didn't like logistically make sense to me why they didn't, what was going on there. But the siren thing, the thing that was amazing to me about that was he then describes what the experience was like and was about being called home. That the sirens were calling him home, right? Which is like, that's the ultimate seduction of the Dark Mother, is I'm going to bring you back to the happy childhood.
Yes, right.
Like that's that's the seduction through sex or nurturance, or like
just all that comfort.
Yeah, all the comfort of the pig. Right. And so for him to be able to feel that, it's like, that's why it's so hard to discern it as a negative force, because it's so seductive. Because it feels like, oh, you know, like an orgasm feels like home or something, and it's like then, but you know, like, when
so it's really repression.
So it's really control. It's really repression and control. And so for him to tie himself, it's like that was like a trauma journey, right? It was like being able to see the truth of the sirens, because he was unable to go into reactivity around it because he was physically restrained. So that was actually like a trauma journey, like to be able to feel it without like to be able to bear witness to it without experiencing it.
Right, and also I feel for part of it was that he was able to like he was yowling, you know, he was like screaming. So it was like, for that to me was a powerful part of it too, is like that he was able to as a way, because I guess that can be really helpful as a way through, is to be able to make noise, the sounds
while you're experiencing the physiological feelings of the trauma.
So like, I guess
and being able to recognize that that's an addiction that if you could, you would turn to, like you would go to without a pause, like you would lose the discernment about what the seduction is, because you only know it in the moment and you don't recognize the long-term ramifications of it. So,
I just like, it feels just like hollow in my chest.
Because and then just how it all falls apart. Because if he gets seduced there is no redemption. At any of these moments, if he falls prey to because there was obviously they were being attacked by a lot of dark father energy also. Like that scene on the island where they go to the child is there, and they think, and then all of a sudden the child, because the child's in trauma, screams and is protected by these dark father killers that come and turn on them also.
It's like a really good trick, you know.
It's such a good trick, and every time they landed, they were landing with vulnerability. right? They were landing of a moment where they had no power.
There was a need.
Need, and so it's always this moment of vulnerability. But every time they were all just like re-traumatized, really, all of them except for Odysseus. Like, that's how fucking intense life is. It's like, oh, I can be vulnerable here, and then you get then the shadow, the unworked shadow of other people, takes advantage of your vulnerability. And so then you start to believe the world is a world of dark father and dark mother energy when it's not, but that's what starts to happen because vulnerability gets us in that place, like trauma gets us in that place of vulnerability.
What do you mean? Like that sounds, or
that's where we become traumatized. We're in moments of vulnerability where we have a need.
Oh, got you.
We have a need, and then that need is met with violence. And that's what happens again and again and again. And they think that they can be triumphant over the vulnerability by being the most powerful nation, by destroying Troy. But that means they have to kill the anima, which is Helen. Right. Yeah. But then she doesn't die. She just comes back as Zendaya.
God.
It's funny because she's forgotten in both movies. Like the disconnect between Spider-Man and MJ because of the forgotten is like that Helen is also forgotten because she's killed. But that Helen's really the anima more than I think Penelope is just a human in some way.
Yes, no, I totally agree.
Just like Odysseus is also not really the animus. He only becomes the animus,
through his.
I mean, I don't even know if he becomes the animus. I mean,
His animacy.
He's animacy.
Yeah.
And Penelope's animai. And then there's all these pieces strewn about.
There's like, there's this moment in Spider-Man that really, really affected me yesterday, and it's when this is total huge spoilers.
That you only felt on the second?
No, I felt it, but I felt it more. Like it was
so
like
we're gonna talk about it, but spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
When after she reads the letter, she finds the letter, and then MJ finds the letter, and it is so amazing. Like that scene is incredible to me. Like, and she's saying, like, she says, take off your mask because I think I deserve to like be talking to Peter,
right?
And he takes off his mask and oh my god, and then she says like the moment, the whole thing is great, and she says like the thing is like I believe you love her, and like she seems great, like but I don't remember,
right?
Like I don't, and she says I don't love you, and that moment, for some reason, I mean, I think it's probably pretty obvious and very, like, for me, I just, she's so brave to me, MJ, on every level, like, she's, and so, like, smart on every level, like, intuitive heart, and also, intellectually and stuff, and, that was just, and she was like, I'm sorry, and then she leaves, and then it's like, it actually takes, like, it's not instantaneous. She leaves and he's standing there, and I'm like, oh my god. But, because you know what, of course, you want her to be like, to remember, and to say, I love you, or whatever, or I did, but the fact that she didn't is like the biggest triumph, that she didn't fucking lie and do the thing, she was just like true, and she's like, I can't, I just can't, and I don't. And she says the words very explicitly, I don't love you, and then she's like, I also don't have a phone, so then he has to take her home, and it's so, that was so intense, and like, and that time she's not really saying anything, and he's like, and he's not doing, he's more quiet, he's not doing the web off, like, thing or whatever, and it was just so well,
his heart is breaking, but also maybe he's breaking the projection onto her, right? I mean, that's like, that would be the healthy way we move through when love dies in a relationship, is that it doesn't shame us.
Right, and then she says, "Do you want to come up?"
Yeah, we're
And
able
then
to feel our heartbreak in the loss of the love, as opposed to it being something about us.
Right, and them and and like one person being bad or wrong or good or bad or better or worse.
Like they both have such integrity in that place.
Yeah, and then they come up, and then it's like the best. Oh my god, so good! Like when they're just playing, like putting letters together and doing the thing. And she's drawing them, and like what? It's so good.
Yeah.
And like she drew him with his mask off, and Ned couldn't see. And then in the hospital room when she drew Ned by his bedside, and oh my god, it's so good. And the whole Punisher stuff, like. I mean, the Punisher, like John Bernthal, God bless him. Like, he is so good at being, he's vulnerable. Like, he's good at holding everything. He's so good at that.
Right.
Like, he's, and I mean, it's like all happening.
He's like the wounded soldier with the soul still, right? Like, even though he's so traumatized that he has to, like, live alone, like, his soul, like, he's not.
Right, and he says, like, I've seen bravery before. Like, but that was something else. Like, he can, even though he teases and he's like, I'm not crying, shut up.
Yeah,
like,
right.
And like he's like, and then it's so small. It's like I have such tenderness toward the male journey.
Yeah. Well, it's such a fine line between the Punisher and Agamemnon.
Oh yeah, right. Interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it's like because I think I see this every day, at least once in my other job, like. Between men, like a lot of people come in who are like construction workers and whatever, and like these sort of manly men, and it's like there's like they that ribbing thing, and then there's like these moments of like where one will step forward and be like, hey, I got this time. They'll just pay,
right.
And it's like this moment where the other guy, it's like so interesting it's like time stops for me. It's like this moment of like, ooh, like intense opening, and most of the time. The other just lets the other pay, and every once in a while one really shoulders literally in and is like, I can't handle it, it's like, no, like I gotta have the know be the one or whatever, and he's just like, where they're like, oh, like we're friends now, and it's like, and they don't make a big deal of it.
Is it an anima offering nurturance, or is it transactional, right? It's so hard to know.
In between the men, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, it is hard to know unless you're there.
Well, exactly.
No,
even if you're there, it's hard to know. Is this person offering me this out of anima nurturance, or is this person offering me this as a way to kind of control like the relationship?
That's interesting, and I feel like that made me sick. Like, but to me the feeling of it is. Like the answer to that, I can feel it in each moment. Like, I mean, maybe I'm wrong sometimes, you know what I mean? But like, most of the time when it happens, it's definitely sometimes.
Right.
But most of the time when it happens, it's between men of equal. If they're on equal footing in terms of, that's what I'm talking about. But you're right. I have seen many times where it's like. One guy who's like showing another guy around town, and he's like, I got this, man, and that's like a different thing.
Well, being paid for you can receive it as a gift, or it can trigger shame that you're not.
Yes. Yeah.
Either you don't have the resources. Like I remember that with like a particular friend of mine who had more money than I did when I was younger, and it was sort of like would make sense. He always offered to pay, but it was more sort of a Southern hospitality thing. And it always just reinforced shame,
right?
Like, but I would do my mother thing of like, well, if he offers to pay, then it's fine, as if that it's, like, you offered, there's like no relationality, vulnerability around that.
Yeah. Wow, money's a real thing, huh? Because
money is the essence of Dark Father projection. I mean, that's why money is. That's why capitalism is trauma.
Right. I mean, it isn't that, but it's become that. Like it doesn't.
We could have a long conversation about. I think capitalism is a trauma reaction. So.
Yeah, but I just experience money in a different way. But I understand that. I also, including the way that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like which I just feel that. it doesn't have to be that way.
Well, it gets
obviously.
more yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it can be a way for transactionality to become vulnerability
Yeah.
as well.
Right. It just I was listening to this very Matthew Broderick talking, and he mentioned this thing where he said he was talking about when he in the Ferris Bueller days,
Mm-hmm.
and like the time after that where he was still in the glow of the Ferris Bueller, and he said he talked about how weird it was to and confusing to get really good to be given all this stuff for no reason because he was famous, and like to actually have I didn't realize this I don't know why, but people they didn't make him pay at the restaurants. And like he was like that was really weird, and I was like that is so fucking weird. This is someone who has the money to pay.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like it's like so what it just makes me as we're talking here I'm like what was that about? Like what is that about?
It happens all the time.
Yeah, like
oh my
wow.
God, yeah.
Like wow.
It's
like pay for somebody else's
well, but at the essence it's like you're trying to connect. Like how else are you going to connect with this projection?
Or be seen as cool. Like,
well, but how are you going to project with this? How are you going to connect with this projection onto Matthew Broderick? You have to do something.
Right.
And if the only thing you have power control over is the financial aspect of the transaction, then you're going to give that.
Right.
And then you think that you have a relationship with him now.
Yeah.
Like there's no other way in.
Right.
So,
Yeah. And I mean, that's interesting. Huh. Oh my gosh. Wow. It's crazy. Yeah, it's just wild how what I've been thinking about, and we're at the end, but is like as I've been, doing my work and seeing how my trauma got manifested and my management of my trauma got manifested in this way, and of controlling and how judgment is a big part of it, which and even as I was leaving to walk in Internovi before this podcast, there was like something on the ground outside the car, the Airbnb car in front, right? And like, it's like this part of this picking up trash. I think it's like, I was like, it was like, and it's like in my body, I felt something, and it's like, now I know this, now I can feel this thing, and it's like, such a weird feeling. It like feels like a wire, like it's something really sharp is coming out of my head, like from my neck out of the top of my head, and like that's what it feels like. It's and oh god, it's so painful because like I'm sure to be around me on some unconscious level, that's what it has felt like for people because these things, that energy was coming out all the time because I was so managing so much trauma
by picking everything
that
up.
I was like well, not only that, but looking for the thing, like I mean, I got so good at noticing all the things, and there's so many of these things to notice and manage, and like so then I noticed that, and I felt the thing, and I was like and then I went to the loving mother and father that I have in my dream, or like my anima, Judy, like and then walked by, and it's like, for me, it's like walking by, like then I have to walk by, and then I'm like, and sometimes I'm like holding my breath walking by. It's like, so it would be like you're saying, so much easier for me and more comfortable to just pick up the thing, just pick it up, just pick it up the trash. Who wants trash?
It'll bring you home.
You just and like who wants, whatever maybe someone will see. There's all these levels to it. All these levels to it. So, it's really interesting. Yeah.
It's very interesting. It all is.
Yeah, and I'm just grateful to have the dreams and have this way, this modality, to found this path for me works really well, to be able to have this thing that is very helpful for me to see. Like the dreams really help me bring into consciousness these things, so then I can start to like right the
Yeah.
ship, or like, which is
Yeah.
then writing the ship
I had
my soul and my heart.
I had 2 clients this week who had these amazing, just sort of like rubber hits the road thing, like what you're talking about. These experiences where they were able to feel themselves as the yuck.
Oh yeah.
And so to be able to be then, like, go into the shame without it feeling like shame.
Right.
Because one of them had a dream where there was cat puke that she had to pick up, and the other one had a dream where he was in the kitchen, and there was like this orange guck that was like he needed to clean up. That was like really hard to clean up. It's sort of like the energy of the effort of like needing to clean up this blah. And so I had both of them feel themselves as and it was so transformative for both of them, which was really cool, which is like in that place of being the projection of shame, they could both feel that they were going to be taken care of. Like it wasn't their job to clean it up, but it certainly wasn't just going to be left there. Like, and so it just right, like that's where the dreams open into like a particular place for something.
But also to be it, hopeful, it can help you realize, and also to be it can help you realize that it's not so bad.
It's not
like
so
there's
bad.
It's just like whatever. It's just puke or whatever.
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
like
it's
my god, it's stinky, gross, ew.
Right,
It's like there's nothing to be ashamed of.
Well,
right.
Just like away. I mean, like waste is the product. Like it's like a life product. Like shit gets dirty.
Yeah.
We poop. We throw up. We our bodies have to cleanse themselves out.
Yeah.
And there is this stuff, but we're not it.
Yeah.
And it can get taken care of, but like for you, the energy of taking care of the junk was from like a compulsive projection of this is not good, that it's here also. So
right, yes.
To be continued, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Woo! Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So more
Thanks,
movie
everybody.
reviews and other things. So if you want to reach out to us, I guess you can send us a message here. You have your website.
awtdreamwork.com. Yep.
awtdreamwork.com. You can certainly message me. The next episode of the Old Heads podcast will be coming out soon. A really cool interview that Tom and I did with an author. What?
The young adult.
Yes,
That's so cool.
He just did this. He does like business stuff, and he like was training these interns, and he did a whole thing about how like being an intern is like being a boombox. And it was just like, it was amazing.
That's so cool.
And so we're gonna be doing that, and then who knows. And we'll be here for the next couple of Sundays, except we may not be here for the Sunday that Wake goes to college in like
just a couple weeks.
3 weeks, 2 weeks. Woohoo! Yes. We're leaving him in New York as Penelope and Odysseus left Telemachus in. Yeah, we're not really.
No, but not at all.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. He is much more prepared than Telemachus is to be king. So, all right.
Okay. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.